There are some people that are just unstoppable. Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? We back for another video, another power review recap type of thing going on. There was some comments that I did want to address. I'm gonna pick two. So Wilfred Jones was like, yo, like I never leave a comment, but your accent popped up so often that I have to ask where you're from or your background. I was gonna say Jamaican, but I don't want to assume. Your energy is astonishing in this one that I'm gonna follow. I'm just skip the show. Keep doing you. I feel the positive energy, and the hood you reminds me of my kid sis. Nothing but strength and intelligence. Aw, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate that. And I'm from an island called Montserrat. It's very small. It's in the British West Indies. And to Keisha Charmaine, who was like, Rodamy definitely has a great body. Hell yeah, he does. He sure the hell does, man. Oops, that was an accident. All right, so let's go ahead. So this was I actually, even though y'all know from the last episode, I was like, oh, I'm not really feeling this whole, I'm going to take you through everybody's journey and drag it out. I'm actually liking it now, especially, I guess, after Dre, the little rat, is gone. It's like, this one was really interesting to see because there was a lot that went on with her that I feel like I didn't even know. You know, with Dre's, I felt like I saw a lot of that. Like, it was like, okay, been here, done that. You just did all this just to get here, you know? But with this one, I felt like it was a lot of new things that I didn't really know about. So Paz, she was driven by rage in this episode. Like, I feel like the girl was losing her freaking mind because she was all over the place, like literally. After seeing that Jamie was about to be a running mate for the mayoral campaign, she was just like losing her shit. She was freaking out of it. She was trying to like recruit any hater that she could to jump on the hater bandwagon. And you know, that's how people us do when you feel like you loathe somebody, like you hate them so much. All it is like you try to see how many people you recruit to hate that person too, so you can talk bad about them all the time. I've seen that dozens of times. So that's exactly what she was doing. Even Tasha, she's trying to get her to turn against him, like, you know, but she was still trying to make it look like her sister was a positive person and James was the one that kind of like dragged her. She didn't know he was married and this and that. Like, she knew pretty early on at the end of the day. I mean, everybody needs to be accountable for what they did or did not do. And that's just how it is. She tried to say, you know, she didn't care about, like, she was just like, it was like the thing she was saying was, some of it was true, but like I said, like a lot of it, she was just trying to make her sister look like she was the angel, you know, and James was the only bad person. No, at the end of the day, they both made a decision to get to the point where they was at. And she made decisions as well. She was a grown woman, a very intelligent grown woman. So there are risks that come involved or that are involved with doing a lot of the things that she did. And that's just what happened. She was playing both sides of the fence. She was playing good cop, you know, trying to take down the drug lords. And then she's also trying to assist her man and make sure that he doesn't end up in jail. So she was doing a lot of, you know, a lot of things that wasn't right at the end of the day. So when she saw Saxe, she actually let Paz know that, when she saw him, he let her know that James actually didn't kill Angela, but she didn't want to hear that. You know, he's like, according to the evidence, it's showing that there's no way that he could have done it. But it was like saying blah, 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 because it was just flying out of her head. Like, it was like going through one ear and out the next one. It was just like, nope, sorry. So then she became so freaking desperate and willing to do anything that she was literally ready to tie her sister to working with drug lords. And Warner let her know, like, if this is what you're gonna do, it's possible that you may lose any money that is connected to your sister. So you will lose her pension, she will lose her honorable mentions or whatever it was. And I think it was one other thing, like you'll lose all of that. Anything that could have helped you to get your son back into school because he can't afford it. I mean, I don't know what happened to financial aid and stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could have did that. But then again, she wants him to help out with the dad so that she would be able to work and support herself. It's like, girl, you making a hard life for yourself because you're so fucking enraged that you can't see past that red. And that's what a lot of people like. The rage just takes over, and it's like all you want to do is get revenge. You know what I mean? So she literally had them pull her sister's body out of the grave where she was resting in peace, literally, just so that they can get that phone where she was talking to like different people, you know, different connects or whatever. Obviously, it was like a burner phone, a second phone where, you know, it couldn't be traced or whatever. And that ended up backfiring on her because when they retrieved the phone, the only thing they was able to find on there was like her talking to somebody, but a lot of the answers was like one word answers they said, or a lot of the stuff, and it didn't show who she was actually talking to. So that part was like encrypted or something on the SIM card. So, you know, smart business. So at the end of the day, she just made her sister look bad. And she pretty much gained not a damn thing out of it. It was like, yo, you doing mad stupid shit right now. Like, really. Then she tried to get James to confess and say that he was connected to everything, and he's a smart guy, so he's not going to say nothing like really super duper stupid. Only thing that he said that is kind of incriminating was that Angela knew what she was doing and Angela chose to help him, and he said that if he could give his life for hers, that he would have done that, you know. And then once he said that, I think she kind of was like, oh shit, like this man really loved my sister. Like, it's no, I think she kind of felt like he couldn't have did this, but it's like she was going between the he did this shit or no, he couldn't have done this. It was like, you know, those two, the dark and the freaking light, just going back and forth. So she just like ended up asking, well, then who did it? And he's like, even though he had that hesitation, that's when he had told her that he didn't know who did it. It's funny because when she had seen old girl in the bathroom, well, that comes later on actually. So then she left and she told her son everything, and he became enraged. So I'm starting to think, when I saw her, how enraged her son was and how he just like, oh, I'll handle it. I'm like, well, maybe her son did it. You know, plot twist. But then she told him like, nah, you can't be doing stuff like this. You need to shut that shit down. I cannot lose somebody else. So that kind of calmed that whole situation down. But like, she was super duper bugging. She ended up going to Tommy's house. And then when she went to Tommy's house, she's so trying to take this man down that you're literally dancing with the devil and you don't even know you're dancing with the devil. So she tells Tommy like, oh, I need you to shoot the man or to kill the man who killed my sister. He's like, I can't do that. Bitch, he can't do that because he is the man. He ain't gonna kill himself. What, he look like a dummy? He ain't stupid. So he's just like, yo, you need to get out of here before I call the police. Like, she's literally giving him her gun so that he could do the shooting. Like, girl, if you so mother effing gangster, you need to do this on your own. Like, not try to see who you can get to do it. She was dumb happy when he said that they're no longer friends, because she was like, okay, this is my big moment. This is my chance. You know, being that James was part of the mayoral candidate, you know, running thingy, whatever, he was a running mate, he got people in high places. So once they found out that Warner had dug up the grave of Angela's grave and they're trying to reopen the case, they came through. The Democratic Party came through like, okay, y'all need to shut this down. And, you know, it's already done. he's on the Democratic Party, someplace where you would probably like to end up. If you don't want to mess up your chances, then perhaps you need to just kaput, close. It's a closed case, end of story. So I'm like, all right. So Warner got the message. He's gonna play it smart because Bianca was feeding him all this information that she got Dre to, like, he's gonna confess and say that, well, he's gonna testify against oh boy and say that he saw the shooting, he saw the killing or whatever. So they about to really get him now. And he's like, he wasn't really too convinced, but he did. She was like, well, he's already on his way, out, so it's already done. And so once this dude left, Warner, I guess that put the fuel in his back. That put a battery in his back, because all of a sudden he meets up with that crooked ass judge talking about we need to, I need to get an expedited arrest warrant or something like that. All that judicial and all that stuff, But yeah, he was saying that he wanted to expedite an arrest of James because he had this new evidence now. So I'm like, yo, you just got a warning like 5-10 minutes ago. Well, TV world, but you just got a warning. And instead of heeding this warning, you like, oh, they can't tell. This is when you be like, they can't tell me. This is some shit I do, because I do kind of have that little thing about me where I don't like people telling me what to do. So it's like, you ain't my mother effing boss. Like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. Like, you just drove me to do it even more. So that's kind of what he was doing. Like, all right, y'all going to see. We going to take this man down. Like, like, he ain't better than me. All right. So, yeah, that's exactly what he was kind of doing. So when Paz woke up from her little crying thing that she had, crying session and nap, she found out that her son was gone because he had seen her pain. He realized that, he's kind of losing his mom. Like, she's out here just on some crazy shit. And when she comes home, she don't even want to, I guess, be around him. She's just like wants to lock herself in her room and cry. So it's like she's literally like freaking losing her mind and depressed at the same time. So he's seeing that and he just wants to take that pain away. So he's like, you know what? He took that gun. He's about to head out to Truth and handle business. But luckily, she knew what he was about to do. So she caught him like midway and she's like, all right, let me yoke you up real quick. And she's like, you need to get your back to the house because you ain't doing this. I'll handle this. Don't worry about it. She's like, I can't lose somebody else. You need to stop. Like, once again, she had to let him know, like, yo, what are you doing? Like, this is not your concern, And he kind of told her the same thing I just said, that he felt like he was losing her. So here goes them dead bugging eyes again. She dead. Because I knew I saw her with the gun. I'm like, yo, this doesn't make sense. Like, I never seen this dude when everybody was walking to Truth. So now we see, like, this is how this is the little parts that we didn't see with her. So now that's how she ended up with the gun, because she wasn't going to do it herself. She was trying to recruit everybody else to do it. She's trying to see if Tasha could do it. She was trying to see if Saxe could do it somehow, some way, like get him arrested. She was trying to see if Tommy could kill him. Like, she was trying to do anything to avoid having to deal with the mess herself. So she got it in her pocketbook. She's just like walking. She went straight to Truth. And I'm like, how you get up in Truth without getting like searched and stuff like that? But I guess like maybe the more elite clubs, they trust the patrons. Like, it's not like a gangster crowd. Because I know every club that I went into, like 90% of them, especially in Manhattan, and I think this is in Queens, like you have to you have to get patted down. They check your bag. They check all that stuff, So, yeah. But with Truth, I guess because of the type of crowd that he has come there, then perhaps that's the reason why. Because, when you get to a certain level, they're like, okay, these people are not gangsters. And probably if you look a certain way, but she wasn't looking too amazing. Maybe it's just because of who she is. That's why she was able to get in so easily, too. But yeah, she was following homeboy around the place. Like, I'm like, nah, this hoe ain't going. I knew she didn't do it at that moment because I'm like, unless she hid somewhere until the club was over, this happened at the end of the club. So there's mad people in there right now. So yeah. So she ended up like having all these different things going through her head, these different things that people told her, and one thing that Tasha told her was like, at least you could walk away. And when she kind of remembered that, that was a moment of like realization where she's like, you know what, let me just walk away because what am I doing right now? What? So she kind of just walked away from the whole situation, and that was like the end of that. But there was one point when she had first got in that she had seen Ramona, and she was trying to kind of give Ramona a heads up now that she knew that Ramona was the person, because when she had spoken to Tasha, Tasha had revealed that he had a new girl and her name was Ramona. So, and that kind of got to her a little bit too, because she's like, he just told me when I had, and this was when she was trying to take him down and, record him, that there would be no other girl, kind of like her sister. So how he moving on already, But I mean, at the end of the day, he's lonely, He's not going back to Tasha. I mean, he probably could have, but I guess like they've gotten so drifted apart, and she done got new penises up in her and stuff like that. Like, he ain't really trying to be with her anymore after that. So yeah, she ends up I was gonna say something else, but I was like, let's move forward. So yeah, she ends up talking to her, trying to tell her like, you don't even know what you're getting yourself into, and you have the power to stop him. And she's like, some people are unstoppable. And yeah, I know that made her even madder hearing that, that, yeah, that he's unstoppable. Bianca's boss, Jacob, he still ends up like getting himself into trouble because once he did everything and everything was done, they found out that old boy was dead, that he was fatally murdered. It looks like James is still winning because he always wins, like they say, because at the end of the day, like I said, he tried to take him down and all that, but this dude ends up, that same dude from earlier from the Democratic Party, he ends up giving him a little visit and lets him know, you should have stopped, but you didn't. So, yeah, I would be packing my stuff up if I were you. And he's like, you're not my boss. He's like, yeah, but you're going to be getting a call pretty soon. The guy didn't even step out to the room. All of a sudden, you hear the phone ringing. Who was it? Boom, boom, boom. Somebody calling, and all you see is water stuff coming off off of his door. He no longer works there. Taken down. Like, all you had to do was just leave it alone. Like, you seen other people fall trying so hard to take this man down, and you at the top of the chain, and he was the one that was most neutral, but he allowed everything and everybody around him to get him to the point where he wanted to also take this man down so badly that now he ruined his career. And if he did want to be in the Democratic mayoral party or whatever, that ruined his chances as well. So James wins, even in death. So now we find out that Paz, it's solidified. When Paz spoke to Bianca, who had that black eye from freaking Dre, I see this hilarious meme that was like, when your side chick comes to your job, boom, and then they show that part. It was just so funny. Like, just think about it, guys. Remember that scene and think about those words. It's just hilarious. And then seeing her black eye, it's just funny. I'm sorry, I'm having a flashback moment. But yeah, she spoke to her with her black eye, and she told her, like, I could try to make some calls, but to be honest, it is not looking good. So this bitch ruined her sister's name, ruined your chances of getting any type of money to help your family out, so you don't have to struggle so much. And Angela could actually have done something meaningful for your family, which is all she ever wanted to do, which is the reason why she was working so hard. You just threw all of that away and made this woman look like a criminal in her death so you could get nothing. Like, you literally got nothing. Like, once again, woo, checkmate for James, right? So the crazy thing is that regardless of everything, when she got a call to go to a hearing for James' estate, you know, because he had his will and everything set up. So she finds out that he didn't. She was like, I don't want no money for Angela, like, because of course that's what you first think. But no, it wasn't for Angela. He actually updated it after Angela's death and put it to make sure that her family was able to eat. You know, they was able to be good. See, that's the kind of man that, you know, it's funny how you'll be the villain in somebody's story, but they won't say the good things that you did or the good things that you do. You know, because they hate you so much that they don't see the good that you do. And he did good, obviously. And he was still trying to do good even in his death, trying to make sure her and her family was good. Like, if I die, I want to make sure these people are okay, you know? And she ended up like a stupid idiot once again, turning down the money, talking about oh, you know, she don't want this blood money or whatever. Like, she don't need anything from him. So Tasha sees her before she heads out. And she's like, they have a little discussion, and Tasha's like, you need to take this money because you need it. I know that you need it for your family. You know, once Tasha knew that the inheritance wasn't for Angela, you know, it calmed her down. And she's like, okay, I understand now. So she's like, no, I'm not taking it from him because he killed my sister. She's like, he didn't kill your sister. She's like, well, he's part of the reason, he's involved. No. And then she ends up telling her it was Tommy who did it. So now, all of a sudden, you see that rage come back in her eyes because she's like, yo, like, I dead went to this man's house. And she's replaying the part where he said, where she asked him to kill the man who killed her sister. And he's like, I can't do that. Boom, boom, boom. That's why he can't do that. So she was just like... She was just like, yo, I know she felt like an idiot. Like, you dead was in this man's house with a gun. Like, you could have did what you had to do since you wanted to get this revenge so badly. I don't even know if they didn't really say if she ended up taking the money after Tasha told her that, but it looked like she just went straight to Tommy's house. She told her son that he could go back to school. So I'm hoping that eventually she ended up taking the money. She knew what she was about to do, and she knew she was going to make a call to the people to get the money. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, because you're so fucking stubborn, you're making your whole family have to suffer. Because nobody can take care of the father the way that he needs to be taken care of. So he needs to be in a nursing home. The son wants to better his life so that he can have a better future and not just be like, you know, not making the money that he wants to make and possibly, you know, maybe walk in Angela's shoes. I don't know what school he said he was going to. I don't think they even mentioned that. But, you know, he's trying to better himself. So because she's so, you know, seeing red, she's not able to see the good that could have came out of her sister's pension, out of, you know, this blood money or whatever, you know? Because she's so proud. Like, girl, you better take that money and be happy and smile. And while you counting that money, you know, I'm pretty sure he left her a pretty large chunk. I'm pretty sure. So when she ends up going to Tommy's house, lo and behold, Tommy don't clean out the place. Like, he's not even there at all. She opens up the door because first she's like knocking on the door like the police trying to get him to open. He ain't open. So she goes in because she realized the door was open. Everything gone. You know, he was like a ghost at that moment. So I'm wondering if it could have been him, or maybe he just doesn't want the snooping because he's like, oh shit, like, this dude is dead. That means they gonna come after me now because I'm next in line, you know? So it's one of the two. So we gonna see y'all. But let me know what you thought about this episode down below. Thanks so much for watching. And I'll see y'all on the next one.